Welcome, my name is Goddess Fiore. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about a not so wonderful subject, but I think it's something that needs to be addressed. What we're going to be talking about today is a fetish that some people have, and it's called human toilet, and it involves eating excrement, basically, and drinking urine. And although drinking urine is actually not going to harm you, eating the other substance definitely will. And for this reason, I would consider this fetish very dangerous, and anyone that's partaking in it, it needs like urgent mental help, honestly. So the scientific term for this is coprophagia. And there are lots of dangerous things that are associated with this. And it's actually, unfortunately, a pretty common fetish that I've seen. I actually saw this even when I was working in dance clubs. There was a girl I worked with one time who had a customer, and you don't want to be eating when you're watching this video, I can tell you that. And I know that this video might be too gross for some people, but as I said, this is something that is way more common than it should be, and that's why I'm talking about it. So I was working at a club, and I asked a dancer I worked with, because I like to hear interesting stories about stuff. I asked her what was the craziest story that she had, and she told me about a customer who came in and offered to pay her, I think it was maybe $400 or so, to defecate in a box and let him take it home with him. And he like bought her some food, and he waited around until she did it, and he ended up taking it with him. And he never told her why he was doing that, and I kind of suspected this when she first told me about it, but I didn't learn about the human toilet fetish until years later, so that kind of confirmed for me that that's probably what he was doing. I don't know how people get this fetish. One way that I would consider is maybe if they are into, because a lot of men are into licking that area and, you know, doing other things to that area. So I don't know if maybe they start with that and they develop a taste for it or something. I don't really know. But, or where else it develops. But if somebody just happens to have this out of nowhere, it is actually considered like a pretty significant mental illness. And if anybody ever approaches you as a dom to do this, I highly suggest that you do not engage in this, because somebody could end up in the hospital. That's how dangerous this is. The things that come out of our body, the waste that comes out of our body, is not meant to be consumed for many reasons. We're going to talk about that. So eating that substance can cause you a lot of problems. There are lots of bacteria in excrement, such as E. coli, salmonella. Some of the symptoms that you can have after you consume this is diarrhea, vomiting. You can end up with a fever, cramps. You can even get sepsis and end up in organ failure. That's how serious this is. And I actually, one time on X, I saw somebody calling herself, I think she was calling herself a findom, and she would do cash meets, but she had a lot of human toilet people that she would meet with, and I believe she was bragging about putting her subs in the hospital from this, which is so terrible. But like I said, I have had so many people message me on X that have this fetish, which is really disturbing. But there's people that do it, and you know, my understanding of BDSM practices is that it's supposed to be safe, sane, and consensual. There's nothing sane about this, and I don't think that this is a fetish that, like I said, anybody should be participating in, for the reasons I said. So in addition to the other bacteria that you can be consuming and how it's going to affect you that I just said, you can also get diseases from eating excrement. such as hepatitis A and norovirus and rotavirus, and these can cause liver damage, GI issues, and severe dehydration. So the other thing that is found in feces, if you're consuming this, is worms. So tapeworms, roundworms, those are all things you can get from eating this. So yucky stuff. Nobody should be participating in this, but unfortunately, like I said, this is something that comes up way too often. It is not funny. It is not okay to be participating in. And you can cause somebody a lot of health problems if you were to engage in this, which is to each his own. I don't like to kink shame. I'm not one to do that, but there are some serious health risks with this kink, and that's why I strongly oppose anybody doing this. So sorry for the gross video, necessary topic because it comes up a lot. And if you are getting into financial domination, be prepared because there are lots of human toilets out there, unfortunately, who will try to approach you. And I've talked about in other videos how, you know, this isn't always an easy thing to do, and some things cannot be unseen. And there have been unfortunate times where, because sometimes when people message me, I go to their profile and they'll post videos up there on the stuff that they like, and I've seen videos that I wish I could unsee. I will tell you that. It is burned into my memory. So this is the stuff that you have to look forward to. But anyways, this is my take. I always encourage you to practice BDSM and FinDom safely, ethically, responsibly, and that's why I'm sharing this information. I hope you weren't too grossed out. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like the video. Feel free to leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel. I now have channel memberships. I try to talk a lot about kinks and fetishes that come up with FinDom and how they work and what to expect. So thanks for watching.